Long ago, in the heart of Rwanda, a country of 1,000 hills where the hills rolled like waves and the plains stretched endlessly, there lived a woman named Kalira. She was the most beautiful woman of her time, her grace and kindness known far and wide. Though she was born into a humble family, her father, Banyaga, was a poor man from the Abega tribe. Kalira's beauty and spirit shone brighter than the sun. When she came of age, Kalira married a young man, Kabaruka, from a family as modest as hers. Despite their humble beginnings, their love burned brightly, a beacon of hope amidst the challenges they faced. Her husband had a younger brother, whom he cared for after their parents passed away. Though they were poor, the three lived happily together, sharing what little they had. The brothers wanted to find a wife for the younger one, but he refused, saying, "Let us keep our small herd of cattle together, so Kalira may always have milk and butter." And so they remained a close-knit family. One day, Prince Rujugira, the son of King Mazimpaka, went hunting near their home. After a long and tiring chase, he rested under the trees near Kalira's compound. His food had run out, so he sent his servant to a nearby house to light some tobacco. That house was Kalira's. At the time, Kabaruka, Kalira's husband and brother-in-law, were away watering the cattle. Kalira was alone, struggling to calm the stubborn calves in the kraal. The prince's servant saw her and helped her, and together they managed to settle the calves. Grateful, Kalira invited the servant inside and offered him milk. As he drank, he couldn't help but marvel at her beauty and kindness. When the servant returned to Prince Rujugira, he told him of the stunning woman he had met. He spoke of Kalira's beauty with reverence, painting a picture so vivid that the prince could not resist the urge to lay eyes upon the woman who had captured the servant's heart. Intrigued, Prince Rujugira sent the servant back to ask Kalira for shelter, and Kalira agreed. She welcomed the prince and offered him a seat on the veranda, but she remained hidden behind the door, too shy to show herself. Kalira wanted to offer him milk, but she felt shy and overwhelmed with an inferiority complex. She came from a poor family of commoners, and the thought of serving the king's son made her nervous. Both of them held back their feelings until Rujugira decided it was time to leave. Before he left, he asked Kalira to reveal her face and tell him her name. He explained that he treasured her generosity and wanted to know her better, so he could send her a gift when he returned home. Kalira agreed to Rujugira's request, but asked for a chance to offer him milk. When Rujugira accepted, Kalira left her seat, dressed properly, and joined him on the veranda. There, Rujugira stood, amazed by her dazzling beauty. When he beheld Kalira, he was captivated by her beauty, his desire to possess her overpowering any sense of reason. They hugged warmly, and Kalira tried to pull away, but Rujugira held her tightly. He told her not to hide again, or else he would follow her into the house. Realizing that the prince had fallen deeply in love with her, Kalira offered him milk. She pleaded with him, saying it was his right to refuse if the milk or the container was unclean. Rujugira gladly accepted and went inside to drink the milk. To show his affection, he asked Kalira to share the milk with him from the same container. She agreed, and they drank together. Afterward, Rujugira called his 3 servants and sent them to nearby chiefs, asking for a stretcher to carry him, pretending he had fallen ill on his way home. Before the stretcher arrived, Kalira's husband Kabiruka and brother-in-law returned from watering the cattle. As they approached their home, they saw a large crowd gathered outside. They were shocked to learn that Prince Rujugira was there. When they entered the house, they greeted Kalira, but soon the stretcher arrived. Rujugira ordered the transporters to place Kalira on it and carry her away. Her husband and brother-in-law tried to stop them, but failed. Kalira was taken away, her heart aching for her loving husband. Rujugira tried to comfort the two men by making his demand. "Mr. Kabiruka," the prince declared, his voice booming with authority, "I desire your wife, Kalira. In exchange, I offer you a generous compensation, a hill of fertile land and 2 of my finest cows." But this offer did little to ease their pain. They decided to go to King Mazimpaka's palace in Kamonyi to seek justice. Meanwhile, upon their arrival at the palace, the prince wasted no time in announcing his impromptu wedding. He summoned his siblings, friends, and neighboring nobles to join in the celebration, eager to showcase his newfound bride to the kingdom. During the wedding ceremony, the prince stood before the assembled guests, nobles, servants, and villagers, and delivered a speech explaining the purpose of the invitation. Dear friends, honored guests, and fellow citizens, today marks a day of unparalleled joy and significance in the annals of our kingdom. Today, I stand before you not only as your prince, but as a man who has been touched by the extraordinary blessing of true love. Today, I have had the extraordinary privilege of meeting someone who has captured my heart in a way I never imagined possible. She is more than just a woman of beauty, but a partner with whom I wish to embark on life's journey, sharing dreams, triumphs, and challenges. That's why I invited you all here to celebrate. Rumors of Kalira's saga spread like wildfire through bustling marketplaces and humble villages until they reached the ears of King Mazimpaka, the ruler of Rwanda. Determined to reclaim his love, Kalira's husband Kabiruka journeyed to the royal court, his heart heavy with grief and anger, to recount his injustices in hopes of receiving a fair judgment or assistance from the ruler. A few days later, King Mazimpaka summoned Rujugira to respond to the accusations. The prince spoke first with fervor. Prince Rujugira, defensive, passionate. "Your Majesty, I have offered vast fortunes and lands beyond measure to claim Kalira as my own. She is the jewel of our kingdom, and her beauty must grace my household." Kabiruka, calm, resolute. "Your Majesty, with all due respect, I cannot accept this offer. My faith and principles do not align with the pursuit of material wealth. Your Majesty, and you, noble prince, I trust in your wisdom and fairness to resolve this matter with integrity." The king scolded his son for taking another man's wife and ordered him to return her. Rujugira pleaded with his father, offering to swap Kalira with the woman he was originally supposed to marry and adding a herd of cattle as compensation. However, Kalira's husband insisted on having his wife back, saying, "What I seek is justice, honor, and the restoration of what is rightfully mine. Kalira is more precious to me than all the treasures of the kingdom. I ask not for riches, but for the return of my wife." Seeing how both men desired Kalira, King Mazimpaka became curious about her beauty. He sent for her, and when she arrived, he was stunned by her appearance. Her beauty was so extraordinary that the king decided she belonged to no one but him. The king's desire for Kalira's beauty outweighed any sense of righteousness, fairness, and justice. Kalira's first husband, Kabaruka, realizing he couldn't compete with the king, asked for compensation instead. Mazimpaka gave him land, cattle, and a girl to marry. Rujugira, heartbroken, went on a hunger strike and lost sleep. What will happen to Prince Rujugiro? This is the end of part 1. If you have admired this part, leave a comment, like, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.